Mother's Day is coming up on Sunday, and we're having a mother's conversation with a twist. Yes, are men attracted to women who remind them of their mothers? Not just physically, but with character traits that they saw in their mothers or have seen in their mothers. Is that a normal thing? And if a man were to say that to you as a woman, that look, I like you because you remind me of my mother, how would you feel about that as a woman? That's what we're discussing. We'll be getting to grips with it with our guest, but not before we hear from you. So we'll be getting your views on this shortly. But first, say Ghana football. The Bet Power Premier League is on. What's your favorite team? Forget the rest and let's go to the stadium to cheer them on. This one is our own. You can also catch matches live on Star Times and Max TV or listen to commentary on your favorite radio stations. Ampa, this is the love.
And Airtel Tigo wishes to announce to its cherished customers that all unregistered SIMs will be permanently disconnected effective 31st May 2023. In line with NCA's directive. Customers who are yet to complete their SIM registration are entreated to visit the nearest Airtel Tigo shop immediately with their Ghana card to avoid permanently losing their numbers. What's more, you get up to 5 GB free data instantly after your registration is complete. So get registered now. Airtel Tigo, life is simple.
Okay. All right. So, look, we actually went and hit the streets. We wanted to know what women think about this. How would they respond if a man said to them, I like you because you remind me of my mother. Let's hear what the women had to say.
I wouldn't like that much because if a man sees you or sees his mother in you more than he sees a partner in you, it becomes a problem along the way, especially when it comes to intimacy. The person may not be able to be intimate with you as a partner. He may hold back and wouldn't express himself fully with you. And this can even escalate to where the person may see someone out there and would love to express himself intimately more than with you because he tends to see you as a mom, and so will minimize or try to control himself and his sexual urges around you.
If I remind my partner of his mother, the only thing I will say, okay, fine, what's next? Let's get married.
I will be happy. I will say yes, because men fall in love with their mothers first. They are the first point of contact. They are those they fall in love with, and the love they have for their mother is always authentic, unless in exceptional cases. But in normal cases, the love they have for their mothers are authentic. So if I remind you of a mother, you would love me as you would love your mother, and you would treat me as you would treat your mother. And at some point in time, if you marry me, I'll be a mother to your kids, and I'll be a mother to the man himself. So yes, I will say yes to that.
If a man wants you because you remind him of his mother, it simply means that he views part of you as a motherly figure to him. It's a very common pickup line nowadays, okay? But it could be true that he genuinely feels so. But it's most probably that when a guy tells you that you remind him of his mom, then he's falling for you. That's my view. And moreover, it can also be a compliment. In his mind, it can also be a compliment, because in his mind, you make him feel safe. He can trust you, okay? And he wants to maybe delve further into learning more about you, getting to know you, and probably take it from there. Guys are extraordinary when it comes to matters of the heart,
Super Morning Show.
Hey. Okay, so You would have noticed that Winston doesn't quite agree, with this.
Especially with the survey.
This whole yes, he thinks even the survey is wrong, or the surveys are wrong, because there have been hundreds of such surveys over the past 100 years. He thinks they are all wrong, but maybe he's not alone. We talked to some men. We wanted to know whether they find women who remind them of their mothers attractive. Listen to the men.
Me, I don't look for any qualities of my mom in my future partner. All I look out for is peace of mind. Where I'll get peace of mind, where I'll be loved for me, where my partner will love me for me. It's all I want. That's it. Yeah.
I don't think that is necessarily what the man is looking for. The man should start dating that lady, and in the course of the relationship, the kind of things that she does interest the man, and the man really feels at home with such a woman, or feels like in my absence, things are going to be okay. And he doesn't have any reason to think that, I'm not safe with this woman. I think that woman is ready to be the man's wife if only things are okay for him. But I don't actually think that the woman necessarily having some attributes of the mom should be an instance to justify that, look, this should be my wife.
I believe every woman is uniquely made, and looking for the qualities of my mother in a partner I want might amount to unfairly judging somebody on another's record. I think that for me, in looking for a partner, character is very important. There are also a number of traits I'll look out for, but I make sure those are unique to the individual, not necessarily based on what my mother has projected or who she was.
Oh yes, I do look for some qualities of my mom in my partner. You do know that your mom is your first love, the first woman you come into contact with, and in most cases our mothers are the ones who raise us, so there are those qualities you would wish to have in a partner. And when you see these qualities in a partner, it makes the bond, you love the person more, because they say every guy loves the mom, except the mom who didn't take care of you. We have those types too. But in my situation, there are some qualities I have in my mom, and I would want to see in a future partner. If I see those things, it makes me want to invest more, want to get closer to my partner the more. So yes.
When a man wants you because you remind him of his mother, it's a plus for you, because it's likely you are beautiful as the mother when she was very young. Also, your character, everything about you reminds him about the mother. It's good somebody point out something to you or say something that goes with somebody he loves or cherishes most.
Goodness. In a short while, we'll be opening up the phone lines to hear your views on this. But for me, I am full of questions. The first one is, why does it seem like such a bad thing for most women to be likened to a man's mother? Why does it seem such a bad thing? Why is there such a negative reaction? I mean, if indeed this man's mother is like you, does that not mean that he was raised by a good woman? I mean, how would you feel if your son says, "Oh, Mom, I would love to find a woman who is like you"? Would that be a bad thing if your son said that to you? If your son goes out looking for the traits that you have shown him in his future wife, would you consider that wrong or weird? In any case, if you are being told that you have a lot in common with your chosen man's mother, does that not mean that when you meet, you will actually have a better chance of getting along? Why do women resist that comparison? Why do women think it's a bad thing? I'm generalizing. Many women think it's a bad thing. Why though?
So I have two sons.
Mm-hmm.
The second question that you ask, I would not encourage them to go looking for women with my qualities.
Why? What's wrong with you?
I think I have a duty to expose them.
What's wrong with you?
What's wrong with me?
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with me. I think I'm an amazing mother.
So if your son looks out for an amazing mother, Where is he going wrong?
Because here's what I think. I don't think they would find me out there.
But they can use you as a standard and try and get as close to you as possible.
I wouldn't want that.
Why
I don't
not?
think so. And I'm just thinking about it now because you asked the question, because this is not something I've asked myself before. I haven't thought about it. But I think no. I'm not sure it will be a good foundation. I think I have a duty to let them know about the other qualities that exist. So they experience it for themselves, explore, and decide what you think you want. I think that's what I want to give them.
I'm lost a little bit.
Okay.
Mama B, because
I'll find you.
okay, because I presume your sons think you're amazing.
Yes.
Good. I presume you would want your sons to have wives who they think are amazing. So
I
why
pray
would you
for
discourage?
that.
Why
I
would
pray
you
for that,
discourage them?
actually.
Why would you discourage
So
them
here's
from
the thing.
pursuing that?
One of my boys described me as a housewife, and I loved it. I know how hard it is, and I say to men, some of my male friends, that I pity you, because I think it's difficult now for a lot of men to find good women, as in people who can be good to you. It's a tough world out there.
So you want your sons to lower their standards?
No, don't lower any standards. Just have an open mind. Have your qualities, not necessarily qualities that I have as a mother. Do you understand me? Because
But
I
where
don't
are
want
they
you
going
to be.
get
See,
those
I don't
qualities
want
from?
you to be. I don't want you to have something out there in your mind and go out there and be disappointed. Okay, because there are different people out there. There are people with better qualities than I have.
So what you're saying is that you don't want your sons to go out there and be disappointed. So they shouldn't have a standard in their minds. They should just accept whatever
Set your
comes.
own standards.
But
set
where
your
will
own
they get-
standards.
where will they
I can
get-
be the inspiration.
Thank you.
But don't. So here's the thing. Don't say you're looking for mommy. You're looking for something that mommy has in somebody else. That's
What
the
is it
thing that
about
I don't
that?
want you to carry.
But what is it about that is bad?
I don't necessarily think it is bad. I don't think it's a good foundation.
Hey.
Check what I mean.
Well.
So that's equal to bad. It's not really bad, but you don't want your child to be disappointed out there. I'm not asking you to lower your standards. I think if you have a more open mind, you would even find people with better qualities than your mother.
Mama B, are you a good wife?
I am a fantastic wife
Are
and
you
mother.
are you a good mother?
Of course I am.
Okay. So is it a bad idea for your child to use your performance as a wife and mother as his standard, so that anyone who falls below that is not good enough for him?
No, don't use that as a standard. No way.
So he should accept people who fall below your standard.
Well, that's up to them. You see, that's the thing.
But
What
that's your
standard do you
son.
want?
What do you want for him?
What does he want for himself?
You, dear, you don't want anything for him.
I pray for him, and see.
What are you praying
is
for?
a
When you
pray-
pray,
is
what are you praying for?
I pray that they would find good wives, good women, people who be nice to them,
Like you.
But as to no, I don't say
You
like
are not
me.
a good wife.
I don't say
You are not
like
a good
me.
woman.
I have my husband.
You are not nice to
I have
them.
my husband. He thinks I'm an
Okay,
amazing
but
wife.
maybe
let them
that's-
find theirs.
Maybe that's the thing. The minute we start talking about this, something about it sounds uncomfortably sexual to women. So as soon as someone says, "You remind me of my mother," the sexuality of it comes in, and it immediately makes the thing uncomfortable.
So here's the thing. I don't think it's a bad thing, but I say keep it to yourself. Don't say it out loud.
Then it's a bad thing.
Because you don't know how the person is going to take it.
Why would they take it
if
badly?
you said to me that you remind me of my mother because you're gentle, I mean, that's positive. I would like that. I'll smile to it. But I don't know if all women would take that. That's why I'm saying, just be cautious. That's all.
So if a man says, "I like you because you remind me of my mother,"
That's wrong.
Merba.
I like you because you remind
Merba,
me of my mother.
Allow me
Say.
to land. Allow me to land.
Okay.
So if a man says, "I like you because you remind me of my mother," I think that presupposes that whatever that reminder is, whatever quality you have that reminds him of his mother, is a positive one, because he likes you as a result of it.
No, but you can't like me.
Meba
because of that.
nyabutre. I'm just trying to establish that whatever that quality is that the man will be referring to, it is a positive quality. It can't be a negative one. If, for example, his mother
It
abandoned
doesn't
him.
matter if it is positive or negative.
Meba, Maybe I'm saying it can't be negative. If his mother abandoned him, for example, and then he meets you and you also abandon him, he won't come and say to you, I like you because you remind me of my mother. You get it? It will be something positive that he has seen because he likes you due to that thing.
I get it.
So it's a positive.
Just keep it. Don't say it to me.
So don't say a positive thing to you.
Don't say it because it sounds, Charlie, I like you because you remind me of my mother. Charlie, some way.
Is the problem the guy or is the problem you?
I think it's the guy. Seriously, you learn what you can say and what you cannot say. Your mother is your mother, and keep the admiration to yourself. And then maybe later on in the relationship, just
later on, after what has passed, after what has happened, after which event.
As for this one, if you're beginning with this, dear, in fact.
So what must happen first before he can tell you this?
Let's establish the relationship. Let's move on. And then later then you can,
when the relationship is established,
exactly.
If he then tells you that he likes
as a conversation, say, hey, this thing that you do reminds me of my mom, pa. Or that one we'll all laugh. But don't say it to me. It's not the first thing you say to a woman when you meet a woman. Yeah.
Listen, call
this
us.
This format will not format.
Call us. And by the way, I certainly don't expect that this would be the first thing somebody says. It's not like you look familiar.
But early stages, I don't say.
But at the point where you are declaring to a woman that you like her, if the reason that you have is that there are things about her that remind you of your mother, that's a bad thing for you, Mama.
That's so wrong. This scenario that you just painted, that's so wrong.
I think you are
at a point when you really want to communicate to a woman that you like her, then you say, you remind me. Oh, Charlie, do.
I see. Women don't want to be like their men's mothers.
Maybe not all women.
They don't. Mama B certainly doesn't. Listen, call us 0302 216 541 055 1111 997. That's 0302 216 541 and 055 1111 997. Want to hear from men and women on this one. Nana Kwesi is calling us from Medina. Hi, Nana Kwesi.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning to you, my brother. I can't wait to hear your thoughts on this one.
Who do not agree with the survey? Because I'm with him.
Winston didn't agree with the surveys.
Well,
and it's a number of surveys over 100 years or so.
Forget about it, brother. I want a wife, not another mother. You see, I think you are saying two different things. So, there's a difference where you've met someone and due to how the person being herself or just being herself, a normal self, has some character traits that's similar to your mom, and you are giving compliment to that. And that is different from you taking your mom and saying, this is how my mother is. And when I'm going outside, I'm looking for just somebody who is like that. Those are two different things.
Well, Nana Kwesi, the second one, nobody has said that. We are all talking about the first one.
Yeah. Because, you see, the way you are, the questions you are asking my sister over there, you are conflicting the two.
No, I'm not.
Anyway, if you are all going with the first one, then I think even siblings at home, how is it like? Siblings at home, coming from same parents, you are not the same. Look, you can use whatever it is that you want to do. It's not a problem for women. It will be a problem for me too. You understand? Because the moment there's that competition, look, nothing this person will do will satisfy you. That's why you are forgetting to do this. Understand?
Okay.
If that is really your standard, you want somebody who is like your mother. Who can be like your mother? Like I'm saying, your siblings. Are you like your brother or your sister? And siblings, you are different people. How much more someone coming from also a different home, somewhere far different? Maybe you can have inspiration from there, and if you happen to meet this person who have some similar traits, hallelujah. But if you happen to not have any of that, and it's still good, and you say what? I don't want anything like my mother, please. My mother is fantastic. She's nice. I love her. That's not going to change.
Are you married?
Yes.
Okay.
That's not going to change.
Your wife and your mother have nothing in common?
Oh, just one, I'll say.
Okay,
they are open-minded. That's all. They are open-minded. Even my mom, I was kind of say, groom her into that because she has, you see, she's an old-timer and she sees things how the way she wants to see it and nothing will change that. But I have to groom her into that, and she has to understand that his son is no more a child, but an adult, and she missed me halfway in that manner. So
all right, now Kwesi, we have to take a few more calls, so we're going to move on to Annie in Tesano. Hi, Annie.
Annie, good morning, Kojo.
Annie, it's good to have you on the show.
Thank you very much, Kojo. The thing is that women, they have to know that most men will learn something from our mothers. The same way you are going to marry somebody's daughter, the father will tell you, even if you don't know, one day the girl misbehaves. They say, my daddy has not beaten me before. So that means there's something that he has learned. So if the man tells the wife actually, hey, when I see you, you just remind me of how good my mother is. It's a very, very good thing. So that's supposed to make you the woman say, no, this man, no, the person will have to do something that which will please her, which will please him. And you have to monitor and so this guy and the mother, they are very close. That means there's something the mother do. And bear in mind that if you are a woman and you are getting married, you're not married the man alone, but you are married the whole family. If you don't want your man to leave you, you must do some things very well. That's why those days our old men will tell us that before you get married, they'll take you, the woman, to go and stay with your husband's family to learn how they are before you can have a good marriage. But just today, when you met, then you cook everything, everything is being prepared. But those days you have to go and be with the man's family and learn who do it. So if a man tells actually, if I see you, you remind me of my mother, it's the mother who trained him. Same way, if he doesn't know that he raised his hand on you, my father have not beaten before. Sometimes I tell me, I've never seen my father and my mother quarreling before.
Thank you, Annie. Thank you. Very, very interesting. Nkansa is in Agogo. Hi, Nkansa. Good morning.
Hello, Kojo. Good morning.
Thanks for calling us.
Oh, good. Kojo, I have only two things to talk about. The first one is, one thing that we should establish is that there is no two people on this earth that are the same. So we should establish that and put it at the back of your mind that when you are going out, you are not going to get the same as your mother. That one I beg to differ. The other thing is, let me turn the host and ask Kojo. Kojo, so if your fiancé or your fiancé tells you that, oh Kojo, this thing you are doing, it reminds me of my ex, so how will you feel? Good morning.
Interesting question there. Yes, reminds me of my ex. Yeah. Okay. Why do you think that question is relevant to our conversation? Do you think it has anything to do with what we are talking about? How does a mother or a father compare to an ex? It's your anyway, let's go to Kufuridia. Here's Salifu. Hi, Salifu. Good morning.
Hi, Kojo, a long time.
We do.
How are you and everybody in the studio?
We are all very well, thank you.
Why did you worry my daughter with so many questions? You see that she's not able to tell you straight that women, they are not always comfortable when you compare them with women. Otherwise, your topic is just a sweet thing. It's not a negative thing, it's a positive thing. But Kojo, the thing is that let outsiders tell your wife that, or tell you and your wife that, oh, Kojo, you are lucky that you have married your mother. And that one should be happy than you telling her. Because women, they don't want to compare themselves with other women. So let outsiders, when they come to you, when they see the quality of your mother and see the quality of your wife, they will tell you that, oh, Kojo, you are lucky you have married your mother. And that is your mother. That is your wife, because she has taken the quality of your mother. Yes. And every man, before you marry, you must get that quality of your mother in your woman you want to marry. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
We want the women to also
yes,
call,
yes, ladies, call us. I mean, this conversation is not complete without you. Call us. Tell us what you think. How would you feel if a man said that to you? Want your views? Call us. Claude is in Tema. Hi, Claude. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Kojo. How are you doing?
Not bad, brother.
Yeah, Kojo, I want to start with Genesis chapter 1:26. It says, then God said, let us make mankind in our image, in our likeness, so that they may rule over the fish in the sea and the birds of the sky. It continues. It does not mean that we look like God, but man has a spirit. God is spirit. God has attributes of love, of kindness, of goodness, of faithfulness, and all those attributes of God. So if you want to look at a wife and the attributes you want to see in a wife, it doesn't mean that you want her to be like your mother. Our upbringing gives us the choices we make. So if you are brought up in a family, they teach you about goodness, they teach you about how to dress, they teach you about manners as to how to speak. And you see that in a woman. It affects the choices you make. It doesn't mean that you are looking out for somebody who looks exactly like your mother, but it depends on the upbringing. You cannot be sexually attracted to your mother. That one is out of the case. But the attributes that the person has. So there's nothing wrong with looking out for attributes because of the upbringing we have. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Claude. Ladies, call us. 0302 216 541 055 111 997. Kofi is in East Legon. Hi, Kofi.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Okay, so when I met my partner, she used to do this thing my mom always do about church. I stopped going to church for a very long time, and my mom is always on my case. So the first time I introduced both of them, and my mom started complaining, and she also joined the wagon. So when we left, I was like, Madam, I will need you to listen to the reason why I don't go to church. Don't go and be like my mother. I need you to be you and listen to what I'm saying and make some sense out of it. Don't be like my mother. I didn't want my mother. I wanted a life partner. Please, let's be careful. Let's be careful. A lot of marriages will go waste because of some of these things, regardless of the surveys and whatever. If you happen to meet someone who by gets knowing the person, and you find out they have character traits of your mom, hallelujah. Besides, your mom, she ain't perfect, just like mine. We all have our ups and downs. We are all different people. So that's what I have to say. So I don't subscribe to the idea, because regardless of how you see it, it always has its advantage and disadvantage.
Yeah.
So good morning.
Good morning. Yet Kofi picked that particular partner. I wonder why. David is in Akropong. Hi, David. Good morning.
Yeah. Hello, Kojo.
Hello, David.
Yeah.
Thanks for calling.
Kojo, I've been listening to you, and I decided not to say anything about this topic. But I got interested, and I just wanted to contribute because of your last caller saying that every man should marry a woman that he sees the mother in her. I don't like it, and I don't believe that, because my father took care of me alone. My mother left me, so why do I have to be with somebody, a woman like my mother who left me with my father? Definitely the woman is going to leave us, and I'm going to be alone taking care of the kids, like my father did.
Yeah.
So I don't believe you have to see like your mother in a woman before you marry. I don't support that. You have to marry somebody you love, not necessarily seeing a mother like in your woman before you settle down.
So let me ask you, David, if you had had a different mother, one who had been caring and loving and looked after you and never abandoned you, would you then have thought it's a good idea to find a partner like her?
No, listen. How can you be loving two women at the same time?
David. Oh no.
You love your mother. You're
having a different conversation from us. I beg. Eddie is in Dansuman. Hi, Eddie. Good morning.
Hey, my brother.
He has a point.
Morning.
No, there is no point there. Good morning, Uncle Eddie.
Nah, and the one you wow.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Hey, Mama V, how are you?
Hi, Eddie. I'm good.
Good. Yeah, your guys will pamper you too much. The topic is TV. I think that when it came to my time, at least when I was just getting prepared to get married, or when I met my wife, the first person in the family to introduce my wife to was my mother. In fact, I took certain traits from my mother, and I wanted to see that in my wife. So for me, it helped me. One was cooking. My mother loves cooking. She doesn't like buying from town. So I was looking at somebody who enjoys cooking. Secondly, somebody who's also God-fearing. So these are some of the things, or two basic things that I take and I picked for my mom, and I wanted to see in my wife. And to God be the glory. It helped, and I'm enjoying that for my mom to my current wife. So for me, it works. You look at it from this point that how do your mom treat you? How do your mom gel with you? What are some of the qualities you saw in your mom that you want to see in your wife? 100% you will never find it in your wife, but you pick certain things that you want it to continue. My wife loves Abenkwan and Katenkwan. I love it. And with those prakonam, I'm a fan from Elmina, so it tells you the kind of the meat and those stuff my mom loves. Even though my wife is not that much into that stuff, I sometimes bring the idea and then she gets it, and then we get along with it. So your mom should be a recipe somehow for your wife, not too much to be like you are looking at your mother to do a selection who your wife should. You should love that person first, but then you look at certain traits, one or two qualities, key qualities that you want.
Mamavi, any questions for him?
Oh, no.
Okay.
I mean, I appreciate the points. Okay. I get it.
Let's go to Sopon. Hi, Collins. Good morning. Hello, Collins.
Hello, Gojo.
Yes, sir.
Greetings to all of you in the studio.
We take them.
Yes. I disagree with Mama V. My reason is, you see, it's not about the gentleman going out looking for a woman like his mother. But he has some qualities in mind, and he has, out of that, grown some affection for this lady. And by way of complementing those set of qualities, which are like what his mother possesses, he says that, I like you because you are like my mother. This is complimentary. It's not like somebody going out fishing, seeking to get somebody like the mother. So I think we should draw those lines. If the person is going out with the objective of looking for somebody like the mother, then that would be wrong. But after finding the person,
why tell me
saying that I like you because you are like my mother, I think the woman should even applaud him.
Really?
That's my take on it. Yeah.
Thank you, Collins. All right, let's take one. The ladies are not calling us. I don't know why.
They agree with everything I've said.
And Mama V, then they shouldn't abandon you. Kwame is in Tema. Hi, Kwame.
Good morning.
Good morning to
you. Why should the ladies call? Because they can marry their mothers. That is in Parliament already. Anyway, so for me, it was very simple. My mother called me and told me, Kwame, marry somebody you can spend the rest of your life with. Full stop. And I didn't see. I loved my mom. She was a very good person. Very, very good, because she was a single mother. My father died when I was 12. And she looked after all of us. But I do not think that her demeanor, her character, and her approach to life influenced the woman I was going to marry, because I had been influenced by my mom. So if I was going to marry, then I was going to marry somebody like me. And if you marry somebody like you won't enjoy life. You have to marry somebody who is diametrically opposite to you, so she can complement what you lack. And that is what I found in my dear wife. She covers all my weaknesses, and I cover all her weaknesses.
That's it.
And the two of us are a splendid team together. But I didn't look for the traits of my mom in the wife I was going to marry, because my mother has advised, you will spend the rest of your life with a person. So marry somebody you can do that with. Thank you.
So do you take your wife's advice?
Hey, she's the boss.
Then that's one thing she has in common with your mother. All right. Thank you so much for calling us.
But that's the kind of mother that I think I want to be.
Absolutely.
I will have in-laws, and I don't want, go out there and find somebody you'll be happy with.
I think the thing that is quite clear is that it's not about whether you make a conscious decision to go out looking for someone who is like your mother. I don't think people do that. But I think we are all drawn to certain qualities in
which I
in
agree
the
with. But
opposite
why
sex.
tell me? Is the compliment bit, no?
So as soon as you are told that you have qualities in common with the woman that the woman I loved before I met you.
You can even say the woman you love the most. I'm okay with it. Yes. She's your mother.
Yes. So if the minute you are told you have things in common with her, there's a problem. And you say that is the fault of the man. Okay. I've just seen your Facebook page, Mama V. I've just seen it for the first time. Yeah, it's got a nice profile picture of Mama V and Papa V enjoying life. I suppose he doesn't have anything in common with your father, does he? All right, Reverend Mrs. Catherine Onwiodo-Kit. I always try with this name. I hope I've got it right, Mama Kathy. International. She's also a relationship coach and a family life consultant. Okay, Mama Kathy, give us some guidance. We are obviously going back and forth with this. The question is not about whether men find women who remind them of their mothers attractive or not. The question is whether there's something wrong with it. Whether there's something wrong with a man telling a woman that you remind me of my mother. Pros and cons, Mama Kathy.
Kojo, thank you very much once again. Good morning, Mama V. Thank you so much. And good morning to all the esteemed listeners. I have been following the conversations this morning. It's interesting. Opinions differ.
Yeah.
And I think it is just as good as we could have expected it, because everybody's perspective cannot be acceptable. So I listened to Mama V's position speaking, because most women haven't called. I think there was even no call from any woman.
Yeah.
Because this is not an issue that most women will want to really dabble into or really take off, make it something that is so important. But truth be told, there's nothing wrong with looking for the qualities a man saw or probably growing up with the mother. But throwing it at the face of a woman at the beginning stages of relationship is what is actually frowned at. Yes, because one, the woman does not know your mother. The woman doesn't know whether the compliments and the qualities you are thinking in your head and expressing verbally are actually positive or negative, even when you try to paint it. It would have been wiser to wait, allow the woman to see things for herself, and do the comparison by herself, and not use that as a parameter or a yardstick. I think that is where the issue is. So come after me for who I am, and allow time tell. Let me come to a place where if your mother is still alive, I discover whether there are some things that we have in common. But let me say something. There's a bit of a caveat here. You see, a son who is looking for a woman to marry had lived with the mother for so long. So there are certainly some positive qualities that he would want, and that will help him navigate the rough waters of selection amongst the many lot of women. So now, if you had a kind-hearted mother, a tolerant mother, a mother that, in spite of sometimes the misbehavior and some what do you call it now, rebellious tendencies for those who were, a mother will always cover you. So a male gender will always gravitate towards there is peace. So now a man is also looking for somebody who will be able to tolerate his excesses, who will be able to do the things that the mother did, and invariably that will help him in choosing. But then to throw those qualities that endeared you to your mother, if you had a responsible one, at the face of a woman prior to gaining grounds, may not be very welcome. Because most women have conversations, not all, that they don't even want to have their mothers-in-laws alive. Now you are bringing mother-in-law into the dynamics of conversation. So you are actually raising the antenna. So the advice is, as much as you're looking for a mother, your kind of mother in the woman you want to marry, keep it to yourself and find a woman that will give you peace. But use whatever positives you had in your mother to help make that decision. But leave your wife to be your wife in your circle until probably you've built relationship to a place where the woman is safe in whatever you say and doesn't see it as a competition or raising the eyebrow, making her feel like, oh, there is somebody I'm competing with, so I must always keep to the path so that I won't come down and my husband will not think that, oh, I don't measure up any longer. Don't give her that competition. Leave her out of the comparative analysis and just flow with her. Thank God for what you brought from your mother. Use that, but don't leave her thinking that there is a competition.
This is interesting, Mama Kathy. So that means that this is the automatic state of mind of most women. If you say that they are like your mother, they immediately consider that to be a competition that you have introduced. They will instinctively see it as competition. Why?
You see, it's like you use the word. That's the truest word you would have used. It's instinct, and because before a person even goes out looking for who to marry, there are already conversations in certain circles. So there is some bit of they didn't grow up with their mother. That's just how I will put it. They didn't grow up with their mother, and so leave them to be themselves. Because it's just natural to feel, you're comparing me again. Then if I falter, if I do this, maybe that is why the mother will accept me. You are causing you are making them think about a lot of things that are unnecessary when you are beginning a relationship and trying to find your foot in that relationship. Now, as you said something, she is a mother, just as I'm a mother of three men, okay? I tell my sons, don't look for me in your wife because you may have something much better than me. As much as I know that I have fantastic qualities, but look for something that will give you peace. So interestingly, a woman wants to feel secure, not knowing that there is another queen that she's coming to compete with before the crown is set on her head. Just allow her to be free.
Why do women think that a marriage is a competition between them and the man's mother? Why is it competition?
It's not. I don't know the choice of that word, whether I'll be comfortable using it again in this context. Not really as a competition, because you see, the truth I want to make very clear here is sometimes some men don't grow up and then leave their mother's apron. You see, it takes maturity for a man to truly detach. And let me get back to the Bible for those who are Christians. The Bible never say a woman will leave and cleave. You should question that. Why did God say the man should leave and cleave? There is this connection between a son and the mother. There is such a strong bond. Because sometimes the marriages certain women are in may not really all go well, may not be the best of what they wanted. So they use the children as compensation for the union. And so the bond is so strong between that boy child and the mother. So coming in, it takes maturity for the mother-in-law to know that there has to be boundaries. And sometimes also the men, they find it so difficult not wanting to hurt their mothers. And so they come in creating competition even before the marriage starts. So I think that it's best that every man who is up to the age of marriage comes in realizing that my mother is an angel, my mother is wonderful, my mother is da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But I will not allow the thoughts I have about my mother to influence how I relate with my wife, because my mother and my wife are not the same. So I treat them differently, and I court both respect.
Interesting. Mama Kathy, so I have a question about the leave and cleave. I'll come to that in a moment. But I'm just thinking right now, is there advice for women as well? If indeed you are contemplating marriage with a man who considers you to be a reminder of his mother, who considers you to share positive traits with his mother, is there a way of taking advantage of that situation? So that, for instance, if you are told you have a lot in common with your future mother-in-law, can that be a plus? Can that be something with which women can build on to have a great relationship with their mother-in-law?
Absolutely. Absolutely. But I believe that there should be specifics, not just a general and blank statement. Everybody wants to know where their strengths are. So in comparing them and linking your mother to your woman, what you need to do is, my mother was such an excellent person in this area, and I've noticed it in you. It makes me feel blessed that I got something I had always looked for. But remember, I will never hold you to it if anything happens, God forbid, but I know that you'll even be better than my mother. I think this is where the challenge is. Communication. You know, in relationship, communication is key. Ability to vocalize and say it so beautifully in such a way that the person has peace and realizes that it is a positive, not a negative. And I want to tell women, maybe also adding, don't come in feeling insecure, because sometimes also balancing the coin, insecurity also sets women on the edge. That's why some of them don't even want to hear mother-in-law matter at all. But every woman should remember they will also become mothers-in-law. So you don't completely dismiss everything because of insecurity when it comes to do with your mother-in-law. See it as an attribute that you should embrace. See it as something positive and allow your mother-in-law. And interestingly, I always say this. Before I got married, I've been married 31 years this year. But before then, I had told myself that my in-laws were going to be my parents because I don't see the distinction. No, I take you as my own parent. And that is irrespective of who my husband is. So I believe that every woman should come in knowing fully well that honoring father and mother also, also embraces your in-laws. And so come in and be rest assured, in spite of whatever, see your in-laws, mostly your mother-in-law, as your own mother. I know that some of them are cantankerous and all that, but not all. So don't blanketly just judge your mother-in-law and be antagonistic, because one day as a woman, you'll be an in-law and you want to be treated fairly, respectfully, and to be accepted for who you are by your daughter-in-law, because life is about sowing and reaping. So women should be secure. And if your man is the kind of person that expresses, the positives of the mother and attributes it to you, receive it with all security, knowing fully well that he doesn't mean harm. But let all this be handled in a matured way.
Mama Kathy, I have one last question, and this is about the leave and cleave quotation, Genesis 2:24. In fact, it's one of the few Bible verses that is repeated again in the New Testament.
Matthew chapter 19.
Yes, 5-6. So, for this cause shall a man leave his father and mother, and shall cleave to his wife. Now, I find this so interesting because whenever I think of that mental image, forgive this comparison, but I think of a chimpanzee swinging through the jungle. You are holding on to one branch, and then you swing, and then there's a new branch. In order to hold on to it, you have to let go of the old one in order to hold on to the new one. But the point of these branches is that they are supporting you and moving you forward. So if your parents have supported you and moved you forward to this point, you will automatically look for a woman who can also support you and move you forward before you let go of your parents and grab onto her. So naturally, there has to be a likeness between the person you are grabbing onto and the people you are leaving, the person you are cleaving to and the people you are leaving. Anna.
I heard Mama V. Is that Mama V laughing?
Yes.
Okay. What a brilliant analogy, Kojo. Brilliant. But let me say something. For lack of knowledge, my people perish. And where purpose is not known, abuse is certainly inevitable. So this is what we are saying. Marriage is not for a boy. Marriage is for a grown man, a matured man. So you don't wait after marriage to still cling to what you should have detached gradually. It didn't say cut off the link. It said leave and cleave. Leaving doesn't mean you won't visit. But it's disconnecting, so that the influences will not allow you sabotage your leadership role and then become a boy that is being instructed. You were given years of maturing into this new role. So if you hadn't matured and now you transited into a role that requires independency, as it were, you are going to cause problem because you are the head of this woman you are told to, connect with. And then you just don't go to the market and pick a woman. You take your time. But I'm going to say something that most people often will want to stone me. I am going to repeat it with all due respect. You see, when you use your courtship as honeymoon, you will certainly use your marriage as courtship. And that is making you unable to live and live. Don't use your courtship for sex. Use it for ironing out things. Because even the same scripture says, can two walk together except they be agreed? Just like the example of the chimpanzee, you are leaving one branch you were comfortable with and secure to now cleave to this one that you don't even know whether it's strong enough to hold you. Those are things that during the courtship period you could have taken time. And that is why I always tell people before marriage, if you trust a good counselor that will give you a balanced view of the journey you are about to embark into, then pay as much as you can if they request it. Because it's better than paying alimony after marriage. Get information. Nobody has monopoly of knowledge. And when it comes to marriage, there is so much that if your eyes are open to it, cleaving will not be a problem. Living and cleaving is not a problem. But we cannot use the few minutes we have here to elaborate.
It's such a pretty.
I love you, Mama Kathy.
Thank you so much. It's always an education when
Yeah.
Mama Kathy joins us. We appreciate you so much. God bless you for that. Mama Kathy, of course, is Reverend Mrs. Catherine Onwio-Dokit. She is the founding president of Family Renaissance International. She's also a relationship coach, family life consultant, and she's taught us so much this morning, hasn't she?
Oh, absolutely.
Wonderful. All right,
Just
listen.
love her.